So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So what I have here today is the 2023 Changan CS55 Hype. So this is the middle variant of the CS55 lineup here in the Philippines. So I already test drove the Lux and I did a full tour of that too. Link of that will be in the description down below. So I wanted to showcase the middle variant because there's actually not that much differences between this and the top of the line model as I mentioned. So what do you get now with this CS55 now? So only few differences here in the exterior. Well, it's not here at front, but I'll show you later on when we get to the rear of this. So you get the same look here and there, same set of wheels too. You almost get this fan-like wheel. So this one's still powered by 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produces 188 horsepower and 300 Newton meters of torque. So this one is still mated to a 7-speed wet type dual clutch transmission. So this engine carried over to the Changan UNI-T. I have a full walk around review of that too here at Changan Kainta. So I'd like to thank them and to Miss Kate for making these reviews possible. So these are her contact details. So if you want to Changan, you may contact her. I recently discovered, since I just shot the UNI-T, that this has the same engine like with the UNI-T, but the one in the UNI-T for some reason is a little bit detuned, like only 10 horsepower less. So I think this still will be the peppiest car in the entire lineup. So let's go to the rear now and talk about the major differences too. So here now at the rear of the Changan CS55 Hype, so like with the Lux variant, well, the entire CS55 lineup, you get fake exhaust all around, which I find more pleasing now in the Changan UNI-T. Check out on that review why I prefer the UNI-T for one reason only. So notable changes with this middle variant compared with the Lux variant, you don't get engine remote start now and electronic tailgate. So yeah, you have to open this up manually. So a little bit of a segue, since I'm about to drive the CS35 Hype 2, I find this tailgate little bit more lighter. I mean, way more lighter than the CS35. I find it so heavy in the 35 Plus for some reason. So anyway, the boot space here remains exactly the same throughout the CS55 lineup. So underneath, you have a Space Hero donut type tire, and yeah, same gubbins here and there. So that's about it with the exterior and engine and boot of this CS55 Hype. So let's talk about a little bit more differences in the interior. So this is the interior of the CS55 Hype. So the appearance wise, the controls are exactly the same like with the Lux, with few notable changes only. You still have a pad here for your phones, fits my phone perfectly, but this does not have any more wireless charging, sadly. That's it. That's the only differences. So here the infotainment system exactly the same too, where you control everything from your driving, the steering wheel, so on and so forth. You still have the onboard dashcam, which is very handy, even though this is just the middle trim. Your reverse camera, your 360-degree camera, it is very good. Like with the UNI-T, it is very responsive. Instrument cluster exactly the same. So the steering wheel is still the same. It looks like a Peugeot, or some people say, and Formula 1 car. I'll get more when I get to drive this later on. Biggest difference between this and the Lux variant, the top of the line model, are the safety. So there are only 3 that have been omitted from this Hype variant, but nevertheless everything here is still pretty good. So what I like to with this CS55 Hype, since this is a compact crossover now compared with the CS35 Plus, so in here in the cabin it is much more spacious, especially there at the rear. I mean, look at my knee room and feet room. Despite as well with the panoramic sunroof, I have excellent headroom too, but I think a 6-footer will just be alright there too in the back. So that's a quick walkthrough too with this interior. Remember, check out my Lux review because everything in here is exactly the same. So without further ado, let's drive this Hype variant. So driving the CS55 Hype, same thoughts with my CS55 Lux review. The steering wheel is so small, very similar to the French brand that I keep mentioning, of course. But for some reason now, with the proper driving position, unlike before, then again that was so rushed, the top of the steering doesn't block anymore the instrument cluster. So the steering's a little bit down, but then again, it's so easy to maneuver this around here in the city, and especially here around in Kainta. And here just eco mode, and then reversing out here and there, it's pretty easy to. And like what I said too with the CS55 Lux, that even though this is a wet type dual clutch transmission, that's the advantage of it too. It doesn't jerk around very violently. I mean, look, I just stop for a while and then go. Okay, it takes a while to go, but at least it's not so bad. And it's just in normal mode. I can tell this already has the same driving characteristics like with that of the deluxe, of course, because it has the same engine, the power, and everything else. But although I think it's just slightly lighter only than the Lux, of course, minus what I explained earlier, the minus of the advanced safety systems. However, what I cannot complain on is the ride and everything. So there's a rocky part here in the test route, so let's try out its suspension and NVH. Okay, you can hear a little bit of rocks here and there, but oh, the suspension is also up pretty well. Yan, like my nitpick too with the CS55 Lux, there are no paddle shifters. So here's sport mode. Yeah, that's what I like too with the CS55 in general, because I've driven both variants already. Yeah, I would say right now, this is one of the most underrated compact crossovers. I mean, you got the tech and everything, you got the power, the performance. I've driven a lot of compact crossovers and they drive mostly the same. Then again, I would recommend all of the competition, but I would say this CS55 yet again is very much underrated. And why not? Little bit delay, but wow. And this is what advantage with the small steering wheel. And like with the hilarious comments made that in the autofocus test drive event last November, that what the steering wheel feels like a Formula 1 car. I do not blame them whatsoever. It is, but it's so nice to drive. I cannot wait to drive this on a very long test drive, or hopefully a land out from Changan, Philippines soon. That, yeah, I would definitely have fun driving this in the twisties. Brakes pretty good too. So literally same driving characteristics with the Lux, albeit a little bit lighter only. And like what I said, same driving characteristics, eco, normal, sport mode. The transmission tends to get better in the upper driving modes, and the steering weight tends to be a little bit heavier in sport mode. And of course, eco will be the lightest. The lightest setting for the steering. I mean, it's pretty easy to maneuver around in the city. So as well, the fuel economy, you know, I'm just driving here around, but the short test route here around in front of the showroom, but they did gas this up a little bit earlier. So the reading here is saying 40 liters per 100 kilometers. So that's actually 7.1 kilometers per liter. Not bad for a very powerful crossover. So that concludes the short test drive of this CS55. I'd like to thank everyone here at Changan Kainta, and to Miss Kate, these are her contact details. If you want to buy a Changan, you may contact her. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more future car reviews and a very special Changan coming right up here at Changan Kainta. Bye bye.